All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Frieren, episode 11.
All
Aura
right.
got guillotined.
Yep. Actually,
Just
so.
actual decapitation. Yep.
Yeah. She done did it to herself. And
That's right.
we learned a lot about Flam. We learned a lot about demons. And we learned a little bit more about Frieren.
Right.
She lost her love of magic over the course of that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the desire for revenge was part of what fueled it, but she also ended up learning the flower spell
Right.
from Flam, and maybe there's that little bit of still somewhat, love of magic, and maybe
Amidst all the ripping and tearing.
well, right, nice, but then Fern and Stark can maybe help kindle those embers of whatever's left there.
Exactly. So let the journey continue.
The journey continue. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, one of the battles, or oh no, just the days come, and she's going to pick up the scales, I guess.
Maybe.
She walks away for the cool picture, but then comes back for the magic item.
Yeah. She's like, I mean, hey, I'm not an idiot.
I'm gonna loot this area, Damn, music.
It's actually just Stark singing.
信じられん。まさかこんなことが。
行くよ。
No. Yeah. Yep.
No, not particularly.
I'm hoping that they show the one that had the symbol similar to his.
I think they already did.
Yeah. Is your son amongst them?
Yeah.
You're upstaging me, man.
Yeah. Although that puts a whole nother perspective on it. She was that powerful the whole time, but they didn't know.
Yeah.
And Hamel's like, "Hey, don't do that." And she's like, "Okay, sure."
Oh, the smile. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Basic, just scars and shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Yep. Good. Yep. Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow.
フリーレン、
Nice.
確かにわしはお前にできうる限りの
I would like scrolls, magic items.
Yeah. Right. Either that or like,
お前が
there's a dessert that I'm looking for.
Oh.
で記されたグラナト家に代々伝わる
Damn. That's a big
Okay.
ask.
魔導書。
She takes one look at it.
本当にこ
This is
の
fake.
魔導書でいいのか。この魔導書は
偽物。
そうだ。古典により継承されたこの町の防護結界魔法とは似ても似つかぬ。
Wow.
もう承知です閣下。これは趣味ですので。
そうか。それより
And yet this fake was passed down for generations.
Because he needed just something there to make people
Yep.
think that that's it,
Mm-hmm.
魔王討伐の旅立ちの時、痛い目にあったもので。
Mm.
そういえば、
Oh.
ハンター様が言っていましたね。オードでは貴族に対する比例は死罪だとか。ヒンメルとアイゼンが王様
Yeah.
に口叩い
That's right. Yeah. And that was passed as a joke in episode 1, yeah.
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 Uh-huh. Yeah, now he's calling him the Lord. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. The shock from that guy showing up at the door was
Even
still
after
too
killing a
much.
demon, you know.
They're just levitating him out. I can't believe it.
英雄たちをねぎらいたがっている。
We'll leave before that happens, don't worry.
Well, we're used to taking time, so.
Oh, sure.
Yep, very normal reaction.
That's how they,
Oh
Make
my
him look
god,
like
a
a statue.
gigantic cheeseburger! You see that thing?
Yeah, that
That's
was
as
huge.
big as her head!
That's
what we
that's
make.
my kind of cheeseburger.
Yeah, our kind of cheeseburger. Oh. Fixing the walls,
Yeah.
everything. Yep, that they broke in their fight. Yep.
Right.
Hey, new duds. Nice. They're a little warmer. You can see that they've got a little bit more padding underneath.
Yeah. Yes, I am all for this cast being in floofy winter clothes.
Cool. It was very like Berserk and Elden Ring, where they have all the fields of the swords and the burial sites and stuff.
では行きましょうか。
Okay.
もう旅立ちか。フリーレン。
グラナト卿。
門まで送ろう。
This is where he passes on some crucial information.
お前は魔王城のある今北部高原の情勢がだいぶ悪いようでな。人の往来が制限されている。冒険者の場合でも一級魔法使いの同行が必要だそうだ。
ならフリーレン様がいるので問題ありません。
Oh, wait.
一級魔法
It's a registered mage?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Now
I thi-
Fern will take the test.
魔法協会が認定する。
Yeah.
使いの
Oh, they hate me. Yeah.
私も旅立ちの時、
Oh, good. Then we don't need one.
ほら、三級魔法使い。
Oh, third class. Okay.
そういえば、なんかやってたっけ。今の資格ってこんなんなんだ。フリーレン様。
Yep, she absolutely is. Yep, no notoriety.
It's worked for a millennia.
で魔法使いを管理する団体って。
Yep, she just outlives them. Yep,
いちいち資格なんか取ってらんないよ。
that's tedious.
Yeah, that's a good point.
正常の証も
Oh, she's got some ancient holy emblem.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Yeah.
Right.
盗品は
Hey, it worked 800 years ago.
大陸魔法協会は知っている。少なくとも半世紀以上前からあるぜ。
That-
全然少
That's nothing, yeah.
Right.
困るんだよね。頻繁に管理の基準を変えられちゃうと。ともかく、このままでは先に進めません。
Wow.
Do we though?
しくはないのですが、
Oh, wait, we're going to school.
北側諸国でも一級試験が受
Yep.
けられる場所がありましたよ
Yep, uh-huh. Got a school arc coming.
All I see is largest magical city, in
Yeah.
the north. So
門を決して忘れん。
that means we're going to a very civilized area.
No, that means
Side characters
They're gonna go
galore.
into crippling debt buying spells.
You think they're gonna have spells to buy that Frieren will actually be like, oh,
No.
I don't know that, you know?
If you think Frieren doesn't take a bunch of money from like loan sharks and just be like, yeah, I'll outlive you, you know, and then just disappear.
地位から気をつけてね。舐めていると死ぬよ。そんなに危
And
な
they
いん
did
ですか？
get their warm drip on, so.
知らないの？
Oh, come.
魔王軍との戦いで最も多くの人を殺したのは北側諸国の
Wow.
Most common is to get involved in a land war in Asia.
ほらね、迷った。どうしよ
I love it.
う。
We need a ranger.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 28 years. Can you just levitate me like you usually do? She's got a little caked snow on her head.
ここで飛ばして運ぶわけ
Oh,
にはいかないね。
yeah.
多分どっかに飛んでっちゃう。担いでいくしかないですね。
Not it.
Yeah, Frieren's not doing that. There should be a ruins of an emergency shelter. Oh,
All right.
unless this is one that Frieren specifically made. I have summer homes all across the country.
なんだか人の気配がしますね。先客がいるのでしょうか。 とにかく入るよ。
Sounds like they're either working out or doing something. Yep.
All right.
いいぞ
We got our monk.
固まってきた
What a legend.
フリーレン様、ここはダメだ。
I am not staying here with that thing.
中に変態がいる。
What do you makes you think they're a pervert?
変態とは侵害だな
Wait, that's
Wait,
Dio's voice.
What?
同族と会うのは300年
Oh, damn.
Okay.
エルフはもう絶滅したのかと思っていたぞ
See, that's why they got Dio's voice.
ジョーちゃんも費用ありがとうない
え、
魔法使いと会えたのは幸運だった女神様の導きだな
Oh, yes. Yes, be the faithful one. Yes.
この吹雪で火種を失ってしまってな
Ah, he's going the opposite way. Gotcha.
スクワットで命をつないでいたんだ
なるほど。
So, just
よくわからないんですけど、
how long were you doing those squats?
僕のクラフト
A monk.
魔法使い
Hence no shirt. Yes.
Yep.
魔法使いのフェレンです。こちらは戦士の
Mr. Stark. Yeah.
天国を目指す旅か信仰心が熱いのはいいことだ
半信半疑だけどね。フリーレン様、シュタルク様の体温が。
Oh, someone will have to warm him with their body.
Oh my gosh, yes. My man is dreaming of Fern's sexy body. Yep.
But he's getting a different ample chest.
Ah. Aizen!
どうしちまったんだ確か猛吹雪で
Please have him have no reaction. Just be
Yeah.
like, oh, and then go back to sleep. Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Oh, okay, and then double take. All right. Well, I got it for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. Ah! So much better with Dio's voice. So
Yeah.
good. Oh. Hell yeah. Right, right. I'm the fist of the mountain star.
Yeah. I like cheese.
でも名のある文句ってのは間違いねえだろ
スタルクお前はここで休んでいろ二人は食料を運ぶのを手伝ってくれ近くに俺の荷車と
Oh, okay.
本当にお前たちに会えてよ
Can you lift that, please? Yes. Damn. Cool. Nope, I'm built differently. You know,
Yep.
just.
I just punched my way through the mountain.
Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah.
That's just a tiny little amount of time.
What's your elf family and stuff?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wait, are we gonna get a winter solstice episode?
Oh, that's
maybe?
interesting little detail. Frieren doesn't pray.
She's like, nah, I remember when that religion started.
Oh, now she is. Okay,
Oh.
okay.
It's a long
Wow.
winter.
こいつをフェルンに渡してやってくれあの子は信仰心の熱いいい子だ
Cool.
僧侶に育てられた影響だろうな女神様への感謝を忘れていない
クラフトはどうして女神様
Oh, cool. Yeah.
フリーレンは信じていないんだ
Nice. Yeah, the.
天地創造の女神様は神話の時代を除いてこの世界の長い歴史の中で実際に姿を現したことは一度もない
Okay.
若いな
What?
俺も昔はそうだっただが今は心の底から女神様を信じている
Bitch, I'm like 4 times your age.
いてくれなきゃ困る
Although I guess he doesn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
俺の成してきた偉業も正義も
知っているやつは皆
Maybe he was lying about how old he is then.
Yeah.
Oh. To be recognized, yeah. Oh.
We don't get to say it.
Cool. Hmm.
I don't know about that, Chief.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. And yet, Himmel ended up praising her little spells, you know?
Yeah. You were able to figure it out? Just because he was with her that long?
Yeah. Right. Again, the
Sure.
perception of time.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. And then things being passed. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, but remember, I'm a terrible priest.
Nice.
The only time that Fern will ever let him hold her hand.
Yeah. Nice.
俺はこっちだフリーレン根性の別れとは思わん何百年後かにまた
Alright.
おっさんも元気だな楽しかったぜ
ペンダントありがとうございました。
Alright.
Wow. That felt like a little Mushoku Tensei spin-off story.
Yeah, it
almost.
really did. Yeah.
Just the idea that the world is big. There's a character in it.
Yep.
You don't know him. He doesn't know you.
But he's still out there.
He's just out there.
Like
Yeah.
that felt like the equivalent of like in Frieren's life of having a talk with somebody on the bus, you know?
Yeah.
But in this case it was like 6 months of winter, you know?
Right.
And it's like, "Oh, hey. Yeah. And then you connect to them pretty well and then you go your separate ways. It's like, yeah, we'll still exist. Maybe we'll run into each other again.
Yeah, we survived a rough winter, you know.
You know.
We're in the north, so the winters are longer here, you know. Yeah. Okay, I was really wrong. That he's actually way old.
Yep.
It was just 300 years since he's met another of his kind.
And so this just goes to show real estate industry. Get those elves as tenants because they are consistent. They
What are you
just
talking about? They're gonna leave constantly.
constantly every 50 years. Oh yeah, this is a summer home for an elf. It's great. I didn't even need to sell them the house. They just rented it out, and you know, for my entire life, they never missed a payment. They never. In fact, they paid
I
up.
guess that's true. Yeah.
They paid up front by the decade. It was great.
Except it sucked when inflation hit, you know, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, damn it.
Ah, shit. Yeah, they would only accept a fixed contract by the decade.
I had to learn money management skills, like seriously. Otherwise, I was out of it in the ninth year.
I had
you know?
to work accounting for inflation into the contract because.
Anyhow, the fact that we've now met another elf is really interesting.
Yep.
The aspect of elves being not as common
Right.
is being reiterated. This is something that was exposited to us a while ago.
Yep.
But the idea that it's so infrequent, and also then tying in with the recent stuff from the previous episode that Frieren's village of elves was wiped out, feels also like elves are getting a bit targeted as well.
I would not be surprised. Because, I mean, especially from the demon standpoint, humans, they're easy to predate on. Elves, they can get finicky, you know. So
they can live a while.
They can live a while, so we don't want to
Yeah.
have any competition. So,
Right.
you know, when we find a village, just make sure to go wipe it out.
Just
you know.
kill all the elves, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But,
okay.
okay, so we have another just character that exists out there in the world, and yes, they're probably way older than Frieren.
Yep.
But he also believes in the goddess in a way
Right.
that is interesting here, because when we think about the idea of a god in this world, I think D&D, and yet in this world they have a pretty monotheistic kind of view of things, in that there
Right.
is a supreme goddess of creation, and she's not interacting much in the world itself, and yet you have priests and or clerics
Right.
and or monks that believe.
Yeah, and that's the
So
thing.
that's
that,
kind of cool that their power and or their you know stuff doesn't necessarily come from active divine intervention.
right. I would have loved to have seen that explored a little bit more,
It
because
probably will with Hyter at some point.
Sure, but like specifically
past,
from
you know.
Frieren's standpoint, because she's a mage, she deals with magic. Oh, and she
doesn't believe.
and she doesn't believe in the gods. When she traveled for 10 years with a priest that I'm assuming could do some level of like priest magic, you
Maybe
know.
that's the thing. Maybe he just doesn't do magic. Maybe he has just something that is, you know, where he basically prays and just hopes for little miracles to happen.
I mean, maybe, but we did have in the town before they left. Stark did get healed by somebody that looked like a priest of some kind, like a, you know, in training, or, you know, or something
Right.
like that.
The
You know,
healing
young dude.
magic is a thing.
Right,
It's
and
a little
theoretically,
green wall, but
maybe Frieren can do that too. You know?
I'll bet you anything Frieren can do that, and she finds it basic. Like
Right, sure. And so it's like, oh yeah, no, you guys can do magic and you think it comes from your god, but no, it doesn't. It's you have a bass-ackwards way of studying it, but you know, you're still just doing the same shit. You know, yeah.
That's a fun way to say it. The concept of being praised because, well, if you're not praising someone, well, then I'll praise you.
Right.
Huh? That's a really weird, because it's not a circle.
It feels
it's
like
a half circle.
Right. It feels like wordplay that might not, you know, work with English translations and things like that.
Potentially.
Because there's like being praised by somebody like, hey, you did a good job, right? And then there's like the more religious praise and all that, right?
Right.
Where, you know,
There's worship,
exactly,
and then
right?
there's affirmation.
Yeah.
Those are not the same thing.
Not the same thing, but
Yeah.
I like the idea that maybe because of the wordplay aspect of it, because actually I guess
something
the
more in the
wordplay
middle.
does work in English, but
It does, but
that it's the sort of tongue in cheek, like making a point of it, of like, hey, if you're someone who's super old and you don't have anybody older than you don't have anybody that is like that you would look up to, then, and you know, in the case of an elf that's, you know, can call Frieren young, right?
Yeah.
Maybe fully aware of how old she is. Then yeah, I could see a god being very helpful in that regard, where it's the, yes, you don't have an actual living person that can be like, hey, I've gone further than you, and I can tell you did a good job. You know?
Or just at the very least, oh, Frieren, you don't know me, do you? No, I don't. Oh, gotcha. Basically saying that he's not someone that deserves that, like, he be worshipped and praised, but what he is saying is that he's used to that from the people that do know of him.
Sure.
If there was anyone alive that did know of him, they'd be like, oh my gosh, you're such a
Yeah,
hero. You
right,
did all
it's-
this crazy stuff. And so it's this picture of what Frieren could end up being. And
Right.
what he's basically saying is, don't worry, you're not alone.
Yeah.
I'll still recognize and give recognition to the efforts that you've put in. And what
Yeah.
she's saying is that even beyond death, Hyder was enough. And maybe in some
Yeah.
ways Himmel also being there as well, but they were enough.
Yeah.
My friends there, I don't need any special recognition.
Fern has realized
Yeah.
that praising Frieren does
Does
help.
work.
Because
It does work.
Oh, you woke up on time. Good job, Frieren.
Frieren's like, hey.
Yeah, right. Like, and
Yes,
if anything,
pat me more.
I love the idea that like maybe Frieren is even thinking of those kinds of things specifically, like, you know, with the fact that like when we got that specific bit in the show, that
Yeah.
was a while ago.
That was a while
might
ago.
not, that doesn't have to have been like something that's connected into this bit that we got here.
Right.
But I you know, headcanon and all that stuff, I could totally see it being something where Frieren's like, no, I learned a while back that praise feels good. And now I've trained my apprentice properly in order to praise me all the time.
She kind of hates me for it, but you know,
Yeah, she kind of hates me for it. And the only things that she can praise me in are not magical, right? Because, you know, I'm better than her at magic. You know, I'm the one teaching her. But, you know, I make sure then that she can teach me plenty about everything
my
else, you know?
gosh.
Like,
Yeah, I love it as a headcanon. It's hilarious because, yeah, I do get the vibe on some level that while Hyther was the one that was focused on in the backstory as being the one that was praising her for that.
Right.
There, basically saying, hey, you put a lot of effort into making sure your mana is suppressed and concealed. That probably took you a lifetime. And she's like, damn, you figured it out. Oh.
yeah. Huh.
And then she's like, how? We've only been together for 3 years, you know, and he's just like,
bruh,
bitch, it's been like 3
3
years.
years.
Like,
Yeah. Like, I've seen you use your mana and like, yeah, no, I picked
I
up
picked
on
it up. Yeah.
Right.
You're way stronger than me.
Yeah.
I love that that's something that is good development for Hyther because he's then already shown at that point in time thinking about something that wouldn't kind of come up for, you know, 80
For a long
years,
time, yeah.
basically. So
Yep.
he then thinks, oh, well, maybe I'll have a kid that'll end up being a mage, you know?
Yep.
And it's just yeah. So he was
Maybe
he
you
was
will.
he was thinking about that all the way back then, conceptually. But the idea also that Himmel, we know he praised certain aspects of her spells, like specific spells that
Right.
she
And so
did,
that's a time reference point of this was before that started happening.
at the very least.
Right. And yet by that time they had already been traveling together for a long time. Right? Like think about it. Like, you know, an innocuous thing from Frieren's or from like the what is actually happening, and yet it means so much to Frieren, right? And yet, you know, that didn't have to have been something where Himmel just like, oh, instantly is like, hey, I'm gonna praise Frieren, right?
Right.
Nope. It maybe happened years into their journey, you know, but still that works. That doesn't matter, right? But yeah.
Yeah. I do love the idea that while this is all going on, this doesn't necessarily have to be the case here, but Himmel's in that.
In the flower field and the playing with the kids and everything.
Yeah, in the flower field. It's not his favorite childhood hometown flower or anything.
Right.
But it's just a little thing that showing the consistency of him being someone that just wanted to be someone that maybe people could look up to and be in a place of this beauty and,
Yeah.
you know, tranquility.
I almost wonder if this is a scene that we've seen before, but from a different perspective, you know, or we didn't see this conversation.
No,
because
I don't think we did.
okay, because I feel like I remember seeing Eisen specifically running around through flowers.
That was not this field specifically.
yeah.
That was around like a tower or something.
Sure.
And that was where he had like the flower crown on his
Yeah,
head and
exactly,
stuff. Yeah,
right.
yeah, I
'Cause-
remember that scene, yeah. It
Any-
could have been similar, but yeah.
Eisen lives rent-free in my head. Like,
Yeah, him
anytime-
showing up in Stark's dream just to be like, whoa. Like, I love it. I love it so much. Eisen is such a nothing burger of a like
Oh, yeah.
of a design for a character, and yet
Because
there's-
it's a nothing burger.
because
It-
it is the
it-
little details that stand out even more.
Right.
So it
Yeah.
makes for such a fun thing when you've seen his emotion and you've seen the complexities that he does have as a person and the way he chastised Frieren and in some ways was like, no, if anything, I get the things that you're saying and how like depressing and like sad they are. I'm the one that's going to be the quickest to call you out on it.
Exactly.
So I love Eisen.
But fun slice of life episode.
Fun slice of life episode.
I'm glad that we got this, especially after the previous arc, because that was a lot of linear stuff. I absolutely loved the previous arc, but like as that sort of tonal reset of like, yes, this is this is what we can expect from Frieren,
Right.
and let's go.
We also have another just casual passage of time of 6 months, just
That's true.
because the winter did take more lives than the entire, like anything else in the Demon King War, the war between demons and people and stuff. So, yeah, you got to take it seriously. But that means also that if you're going to some magic town to get a certification and stuff, and it takes a bit more time, you might hit the next winter eventually, and then also have to deal with that again. So the years slip by, but also that means then that these little moments of, Fern almost slipping on the roof and start catching her, these are ways in which our characters are getting more and more closely knit.
Can't you imagine how much it will break our hearts? Now, granted, it's got a pretty set pace right now.
Oh, yes.
It hasn't been doing the stuff like we got at the very beginning of the show.
But it's like 10 years.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of a sudden.
you're right, exactly.
60 years. Or
But can you imagine how heartbreaking that would be to get to the point where Fern has wrinkles on her face? She's old, and it's like...
Before even that, I know what you're meaning, but before even that, you can just get to the Stark and Fern are like, we're not going with you, Frieren.
Sure.
We're gonna raise our kid, or
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna settle
yeah.
down here and start a family.
It's just,
Right? And then it's the thing of where
Yeah.
Frieren will be like, well, yeah, okay, I'll come back and visit. And like,
and
when?
I could totally see it being something where it's like, I'll see you in 5 years. Right? Like it's the she
And then
realizes
Frieren
like
gets to like 2 years and she's like, I'm gonna go visit.
yeah,
Like it's been too long,
5 months later, yeah.
Frieren's just tapping, wanting to
Right.
like lean against someone on
Yeah.
the wall and like, fuck.
She's like, wait. She wakes up at a reasonable time. Hey,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no one to praise me for when I achieve basic responsibility. Damn it. I really
Wow,
like that.
mortal urgency is a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
Just really makes you get up in the morning, But yes, that's stuff that we can expectantly like hope to be as far away from now as we are in season
Until
1.
then, we'll get we've got the promise of a potential school arc, which will be all sorts
my
of
God.
hilarious and fun.
Okay,
and I can't wait for Frieren to be like,
I'm watching.
Don't worry, I have a permit.
Okay.
This expired 700
no,
years
I know.
ago.
I have to say something here because this is something that is worrisome a little bit for me.
Okay.
I'm sure that this manga got popular very quickly.
Oh,
But
yeah, I know where you're going.
I'll
with
bet
this.
you anything that editors or the mangaka or some combination of them looked at the popularity and were like, we could make
we could
this go
Spy Family
longer.
this.
Yes, and have a big school arc where, we get a bunch of...
Oh yeah, and
the
put them in
journey
uniform and everything.
The journey
and
just
so much
grinds to a
merchandise
halt.
and yeah.
Yeah. And it's the kind of thing...
Well, not even just grinds to a halt. Turns into a different kind of story.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And I'm worried just a little bit, the tiniest little bit, because I'm like, damn it, there's so much good here.
Yeah.
And yet, just with the demon arc alone, with Aura and
that slowed down a lot.
that slowed down things a
And
lot.
you can't do that a second time in the same way because the whole point was that was showing how Fern and Stark have grown.
Right.
And then a little bit of like, yeah, let's
So you can
crystallize
do
how
that
good
kind of
Frieren
again
is.
after this magical city arc or what
Kind
have
of, but you know.
But this is the area where the show, in the desire that I have to see a ensemble cast story in that regard, and for Frieren to make plenty of new friends, not just a party, but friends in general, but maybe also expand the party at some point, because that is realistic to happen at some
We're bringing up other classes, right? Like,
yeah.
met a
Their
monk,
monks exist.
Yep.
Monks exist. This is D&D, y'all.
Right.
So we will see how they do that, but it is something where I almost somewhat expect that season 1, at the very least, might have a massive chunk of it in this city.
Sure.
We haven't really had a true city arc.
And okay, let's
So
be
that-
real.
that's
If
probably
it's the,
what's coming.
If it's the big magic city, I would have no problem with that because if that means that we get a bunch of like
Magical world building stuff. in
magical
general.
world building
Yeah.
and magical shopping, like yes, I am all for that.
You
Like,
need your priorities.
I know it's something that was more specific, but I do love the idea of Frieren being like, there's a loan shark there, and
You're saying you have an amulet of health? Greater hell?
You're saying you're
Fern. We need to go into depth for this
yeah
shit.
yeah. Oh,
We put this on Stark, and he's just good.
Yes, Mr. Lone Shark. Your family must be very successful. Oh, you just celebrated your 62nd birthday. Oh, isn't that fantastic? Yes, I would take
You have
100,000 gold.
You're such a very specific view of Fern. You think that Frieren, like you think that she has the social capacity to schmooze a deal like that.
No. Hey, Fern.
Yes, exactly. There we go. I was like,
Frieren-sama, that is very irresponsible.
just go ahead.
Yes, we'll be out of here. You know, we won't circle back to this town for 20 years. You know, we'll be dead by then.
Well, we hide our mana. They won't find us.
No. Make sure that I'm the only, you guys won't have any of it.
There'll be that
pressure
cold
on you.
moment where Frieren goes, well, you both are basically orphans, so it's not like you have family that they're going to hunt down or anything. And then she's like, Frieren, what the fuck? And then it's just like, what? Like, it's true. Like,
Yeah. and if I'm the only one, if I say that you guys are, properly disconnected and everything, what are they going to do? Try and
it's
find
just,
me?
for the purpose of protecting the realm.
Yeah, that's right.
And then she's going to be like, I'm the hero. Woo.
Right. Yeah, and then at the end it's like, all right, we
This
solved
is
the
not Frieren's character at all.
We solved the demon problem. Cool. Okay. So, you'll pay off debts, right? Sure. All right, cool. Because this has been accumulating 9.5
Jacob,
years.
we're making this
loan
into
shark
Konosuba
interest.
in our heads here. Stop. This is not Konosuba. This is how do you handle living and going on beyond people dying and stuff.
Fern doesn't want this to be Konosuba, but her master is rather insistent.
That is interesting to kind of take the perspective of where Frieren's laziness and feeling of loss meet. Turn
this into a serious discussion point.
No.
Yeah.
But really, the idea that Frieren is someone who both has the complicated emotions that she doesn't understand surrounding the deaths and journey and adventure that she had with her friends, but then also the ways in which she hasn't changed since all that time. Because she doesn't have any forcing function really to change other than potentially those emotions.
Yep.
But those emotions won't come up necessarily unless Fern and Stark kind of stoke the same thing.
Right.
In combination with her just memories and overall just experiences that those 10 years gave her. But to her, the longer she goes away from those 10 years, the more and more it will just become a fading away memory. She's still a regular, being in that she's going to memory dump. She's going to slowly but surely forget parts and details of that adventure.
I don't remember what I had for dinner a week ago. She's certainly not going to remember something that happened 6 months ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But if this journey is about her kind of having those things rekindled as she goes, oh yeah, we walked past this area 95 years ago. Oh, okay, yeah, that's interesting. Or okay, this was that time, 86 years ago when this specific thing happened. Oh, and that could, rekindle the feelings and stuff there. But I am curious to know if there's going to be a point in the story where she almost tries to aggressively hold on to a specific memory that maybe she remembers again, and she's like, I forgot about that. I need to hold on to that.
Right, because she hasn't done that yet, and that could just be because she's learned over the course of time that that's pointless.
Yeah.
Or it could be that there hasn't been something that's enough of a forcing
function
function motivation to do that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's personally that she hasn't gotten close enough yet to Fern and Stark. So as she gets closer to them, that would be something.
This
that comes
journey
back
is
up.
already different from the previous one, even though they've spent less time on it because of what she learned from the previous journey and the time afterward.
Right.
So now, even if they get to the point where it's 10 years, that'll be unbelievably different for Frieren. And if it goes any longer than that and stuff, then
we're already quite far with regards to Fern.
Yes, that is true.
We have spent
very true.
quite a few years already.
Yeah.
We could go back and count, but I believe it's at least 5 years.
Oh,
Just with
I
Fern.
want to say
That's what I said, at least.
sure, but in 5 years with just Fern after leaving Hater's place, right? Because she was there deciphering the tome for a long time too. as
I
Fern
don't
was,
count
growing up and
that
stuff.
as much because
Yeah, because it wasn't her and Fern. It was her and Hater, and Fern was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Also, just magic certification being a thing that Frieren has to deal with, and the idea that they change their regulations so frequently. You know,
Yeah.
like, why do they have to do this every 50 years? And it's like, that's not that frequently, Frieren. Like,
Right.
it's
It's the old
She's like, why do I have
person-
to go back to the DMV? You know, I did it once,
Right.
5 years ago.
I got my license when I was 18, and I can still drive just as good as I could back then.
I'm trying to remember what it is, but we in the U.S. have multiple different like renewal periods for like driver's licenses,
Yep.
and I think there's 1 or 2 states where it's like once you've gotten it, like you don't have to get it again for like a long time, especially after you've gotten it like for your first renewal or something.
Sure.
It's like this thing where once you've had it and you've renewed it like 3 times or 2 times
It's
or
like,
something,
whatever.
then it's like 40 years. It's
Right.
like some ridiculous number like that.
But Frieren is absolutely the type of person that would show up with a passport that's like, this is
my
way-
holy symbol
Yeah.
of the goddess I don't believe in. But
This is my holy symbol. I don't even recognize that. Like, I'm a priest. I
is
don't.
this a pagan god? Did we crusade these people at some
Yeah,
point? Like,
right.
I'm sorry. Let me. It's the guy from Mummy, like sorting through his
Yeah.
god symbols. I mean, like, this one worked. No, okay. This one. I do love the idea that Frieren has outlived entire religions and cults and stuff. That they've like been born
She's just
and then
like,
died. And
she's like-
Frieren was like.
if elves
Ah.
weren't so isolationist, we really would have like petitioned for some better integration of our, people into your society. Because there's no sort of like, lifetime for exceptionally long-lived beings.
That would be really funny though if they're like in terms of that they're like no there was but elves have
yeah.
been so
No.
completely wiped out
Yeah,
in
it's like-
general that we haven't had an elf come in to get regulated in
Right.
such a long time.
It'd be like someone in the U.S. showing up with like this is my $100 gold, like $100 worth of gold, note, right, from like 200 years ago, and it's like, so give me my gold, please, and the banker's like, huh? Right? Like, we don't have gold here. That's
you
what.
expect, like no, we have digital,
Right, I can
values.
give you some numbers if you want.
Yeah, they're digital values of how much
So,
gold you have.
Do you want to open an account? Would that be checking or savings? Like,
That actually might be one of the funniest things that they're going to get into in the city is the idea of technology being basically based around magic. And I
sure.
personally fucking love magical tech world building stuff.
Oh,
It'd
yeah.
be like, well, don't you just use the fairy system, or don't you just use this thing? And it's like, the what? And it's like, yeah, and then you see like hovering, just lanes of shipping containers. And
or even better, Frieren's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure in this town, like, I set up like an investment fund like 600 years ago, and then they come back and there's like a statue of like this entire guild is the
the
prophet.
Frieren Guild.
Yeah,
And she's like, oh, I guess I own that now.
yeah, cool. Give me all your.
See, Jacob, this is
magic
what happened
stuff.
if you were in a magical world. Frieren, not that forward.
You thought
thinking.
old money is a problem in our world.
They probably would have a thing of like, your assets will default to the people of the bank if you don't come in to check every 100 years. That'll keep those immortals in check.
Oh fuck, 100
Oh fuck!
years.
Where did I deposit all that money?
This is unjust.
You're looking at a map and you're like,
Right.
fuck! Where did I?
How do you expect us to keep up with such an oppressive regime every century? Are you kidding me?
Anyhow, y'all, this is fun memeing, but thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all next time.